What happens when the law itself defines a person as a transgressor? In the 6th century, under Emperor Justinian I, the Byzantine Empire faced a turning point in imperial ambition, religious authority, and moral law. As ruler from 527 to 565 CE, Justinian sought to revive Roman authority, codify law, and guide social conduct across the empire. Among his legal measures was a decree targeting relationships outside societal norms, combining imperial authority with moral expectations. The Codex Justinianus, part of the Corpus Juris Civilis, remains one of the most influential legal compilations in history. It prescribed strict consequences for individuals engaging in prohibited behaviors, as defined by imperial law. The law was clear, its directives final and binding. Justinian's reforms reflected the moral concerns of the Byzantine court and broader Christian establishment. From the 4th century onward, Eastern Roman emperors aligned laws with church teachings, influenced by councils and prominent bishops. Church leaders viewed non-traditional relationships as morally problematic, potentially threatening the state's well-being. Under this ideological climate, Justinian implemented measures stricter than his predecessors. In 559 CE, a new edict linked prohibited behavior to societal consequences. It warned that communities condoning such behavior could face misfortune, emphasizing collective responsibility. The decree was more than moral instruction. It acted as a tool for social control. Public enforcement followed, with the emperor's intentions extending beyond purely religious aims. Justinian used morality to project imperial authority and societal order. By regulating personal behavior, he demonstrated the reach of imperial law into private life. The decree reinforced both religious orthodoxy and the emperor's power. The law affected identities and relationships, shaping societal recognition and memory. Official records often omitted individual names, leaving only the consequences evident. Through the code, the state, the church, and law intersected, redefining social norms. The decree influenced daily life, visible in city streets, public spaces, and societal interactions. Enforcement marked a significant period of legal and social oversight. These public actions were designed to guide, instruct, and correct behavior according to the law. Historical sources are limited, but even within this silence, the effects are perceptible. Procopius, the court historian, avoided direct mention in official works, but hinted at strict enforcement. In his secret history, he described a regime where societal order was tightly controlled. While specific details were muted, the narrative shows the structured implementation of the emperor's edicts. Actions taken under these laws were visible in public spaces and community oversight. Individuals were subject to formal procedures and public observation as part of legal enforcement. Some faced severe punishments for acts the state deemed spiritually unacceptable. In earlier decades, others were removed from society as a consequence of their actions, reflecting Roman precedent. In Constantinople, these events were publicly visible, with crowds present. Individuals were brought to central spaces beneath iconic buildings and Christian symbols. Certain ceremonial actions, such as symbolic fire, were used to represent purification. These rituals symbolically cleansed wrongdoing, even as they marked public accountability. It was not just about enforcement, it was a demonstration of societal standards. The message was clear: law maintained moral order and civic stability. These procedures reinforced the authority of the emperor through social expectations. In a society where the emperor was viewed as God's agent, the law carried moral weight. Disobeying Justinian's decrees was seen as violating both civil and religious order. Legal enforcement was framed as maintaining societal righteousness. Symbols like ceremonial swords and flames represented the authority of law and tradition. They also conveyed a broader lesson. When law governs identity, compliance ensures social order. Exile and public correction were part of maintaining civic harmony. These measures were designed to regulate behavior and reinforce community norms. Alternative punishments emphasized public accountability and societal integration. Those removed from certain privileges were guided to live under structured oversight. Individuals could be relocated, stripped of property, and publicly corrected under supervision. This process emphasized social and civic responsibilities rather than private punishment. The focus was on restoring order, identity within the community, and adherence to law. Public rituals encouraged acknowledgement of societal expectations and accountability. These corrective rituals aimed to reinforce shared values within the community. Measures drew from precedents in Roman and early Christian legal traditions. Roman emperors historically used relocation and oversight to maintain order and resolve disputes. In the Byzantine 6th century, exile and correction were fused with moral instruction. Justinian's laws formalized these practices through directives to officials and clergy. Clergy and civil authorities guided enforcement, ensuring adherence to both civic and religious norms. Those spared the most severe measures were subjected to public correction and oversight to ensure compliance. In this system, reputation and social standing were maintained through visible accountability, teaching that law and authority shaped communities.